It's a good tuna, but I think I paid too much.
I always wear my mask and wash my hands after going home.
I am the king of the ring.
Welcome to the Japan What Podcast, episode 184. And I'm your host, Matthew PMBigelow.com. And I'm coming at you from the Aizumicho Studios in Shinjuku, Tokyo, Japan. Covering Japan Society 5.0, AI markets, depopulation, migration, rising conflict in the Indo-Pacific, and more. And we thank you for coming on to today's show. Busy day as usual. It seems like a lot of the media I listen to these days, they just get everything from X now. Everything just goes on to X, and then people scroll on X and kind of copy and paste whatever they see on X into a podcast, especially for news events and things like that, because, I don't know, it's automated and the research is easy. I don't do that on this show, by the way. Just kind of interesting. But to lead into the point I want to make on that is I never really thought about migration. And I'm a migrant. I'm an expat. I'm an economic migrant here in Japan. And I have never really brought my own country's problems with me, or have never even thought about demonstrating them on the streets of Tokyo or anywhere in Japan. But it seems to me like a lot of migrant groups now kind of are doing that. And it leads into a point here, back to X in a second here. But like in Canada, there's a giant separatist movement called the Bloc Québécois, and they're a French movement based in Quebec, and they're a national party. And every time we have a national election, the Bloc Québécois is one of the main parties that gets elected into the parliament. And all they do is want to separate from Canada. Basically, that's their platform. So it drives me nuts, because it really excludes a lot of other parts of Canada from having more of a say in the national discussion. But I've never really thought about like going down to the embassy here in Tokyo with like a Quebec flag with an X crossed through it and be like, "Ah, mais non, les Québécois, c'est pas ici." I've never thought about doing anything like that. But in Canada right now, there's like millions of Indians that have recently migrated there. That's fine. It's not fine. I'm not taking a position on it on the podcast. You make of it what you will. But I have noticed that there's like these Khalistani type Sikh people who want their own country inside of India. And they protest in Canada. That's a little strange. And then I saw a video a few days ago on X, and I posted it, and it was in Japan, and it was Kurds fighting with Turks on the streets of Tokyo near an embassy. And I was like, I just kind of posted on X, I've never really thought about taking my own country's problems and protesting on the streets of another country. And then a few days goes by and I get a notification, community notes, on the video I posted. And it's like, actually, this video is from 2015. And I kind of go, and another guy that I follow on a mutual on X as well, is like, this video is, he was interested. He was fine. He's just like, I just did a little research on this video because it's near my house. And it looks like it's from 2015. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. But my post isn't about that it's new. My post is about like, I don't do that. And I don't see why, because it's on X or a social media site, why, this is the point, why when people see something on social media, A, it has to be happening right now in their mind, and B, it has to be verified, or maybe it's fake news. Like, that's kind of this weird interpretation on how we interact with media now, social media especially, but that's how most people interact with media. A, I see it on my phone on the social media, therefore it's happening now. And B, is this a source I can trust? But when I grew up with television and I would watch reruns of shows, I wouldn't be like, oh, this is a new show. I might be like, it's a rerun, but I'll watch it anyways. But there wasn't like this kind of like a thing where it was like, it's new. Oh, it's not new. We better tell everybody that it's not new. Kind of an interesting idea. Like, how we mentally change depending on the media that we're interacting with. It would almost be like going to see like an old James Bond movie in the theater, and you sit down and you're like, "What? It's not the new James Bond movie? It's Moonraker? Oh, they didn't tell me it was from 1972 or whenever it was." It's just this weird thing with social media where it's like, "Oh wait, we have to tell you this is video. It's not new." It's like everyone's like, "Well, then screw it. Forget about it. It doesn't make any difference. Why even show it anyways?" Well, maybe we could like use past examples to talk about an idea that we have right now. It's just kind of a strange phenomenon that I've noticed with social media. It has to be new and we have to doubt it. So healthy, isn't it? Such a wonderful way for a society to consume information. And then everything's also on the brink. Oh, look at this. It's happening right now, and that means the collapse is about to happen. It's like, oh, whoa, geez. Oh, I've been talking about this for years, and that means we're on the edge. It's like, okay, all right, everybody's on the edge. We're like pressed right up against the future, waiting for it to like the fall to happen. Let's fall. All right, well, let's take a look at the topic list for today. I have a huge technology section today. A lot of it's just going to kind of be dancing through the headlines more or less, but it's documenting the rapid spread of Society 5.0 and AI market solutions throughout Japan at the moment. But I'll get into that in a minute. The first one that I want to talk about, and it's this idea of who says what and who decides what. Or is it? Yeah, why don't I do that, actually? Why don't I do that? I'm going to start with that. And what I mean by that is decarbonization. I hate decarbonization. But how did it become such a main target for everything? I grew up in very liberal British Columbia, Canada. And in the 90s and 2000s, environmentalism was very much a thing, and it was very much a grassroots thing. It would be people baking their own breads. It would be people composting. It would be people making hemp clothing or stuff like that. Not buying in supermarkets and going to local markets and things like that. Growing your own food, sustainability. And that was a major thing. And I don't know how it got into decarbonization. Like, have you ever been to like a hippie or somebody who's like, "Yo, man, I have a tie-dyed shirt and I like Joni Mitchell, and that we just got to get this decarbonization thing going." Like, how did it become such a thing? And then how did it become such a elitist thing? And then how did all the elites start talking about decarbonization as if it's the main thing to do? It's a very odd thing. And it's so top-down, non-grassrootsy. It really is. It kind of embodies the idea of movements that have been captured, because this decarbonization movement is just bizarre, but I know where it's going. So this is coming to us from the Japan News by the Yomiuri Shimbun. My alumni used to work there for a few years. Japan and ASEAN to seek common rules toward decarbonization. Laos summit to focus on calculating, reporting emissions. You know what this is about? Air tax. Japan and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations will aim to establish common rules to promote decarbonization in Asia, according to a draft joint statement of the Asia Zero Emission Community, the AZEX, summit to be chaired by Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba. Now, this is Japan's brand new Prime Minister, coming in on the heels of Kishida. He's supposed to not be Kishida, who was Mr. WEF, like a WEF suit, World Economic Forum suit, the Justin Trudeau of Asia. This guy is the former defense minister. He's like a Christian. And then the first thing he does is go to a summit and then just reads off the same teleprompter playbook, essentially. So how did that happen? Scheduled for Friday in Laos, or Lao, the meeting will focus on promoting the establishment of rules on calculating and reporting greenhouse gas emissions in cooperation between Japan and ASEAN, in a bid to strike a balance between decarbonization and economic growth. How many of these countries in ASEAN are just eventually going to say, screw you, hello, China? This is just like pushing people into China's arms. We will take authoritarianism over the holding two opposite ideas in our heads at the same time, always, all the time. No problem. We'll go to the meetings and we'll nod, but I think we're done here. But this happens to be tied to Tokyo Stock Exchange. Carbon trading slowly picks up in first year. So Tokyo and Japan are all in on the international carbon emissions trading platforms. And we can offset your carbon or monitoring carbon. And some Japanese telecommunications companies, I think it's NTT Docomo, I'm not sure which one, have access to satellites that monitor greenhouse gas emissions in other countries, I think in Latin America and some regions like that. And the idea is that you can monitor where all the green stuff is and then where all the carbon emissions are and figure out ways who owns which and trade them and offset them to create like this fake economy based on the green economy, the transition economy, which is, my view, is not going to happen. It's going to flop. But they're going to try to make it happen. But is it going to happen? I don't know. It'll happen, but it just won't be what everybody's hoping it to be. So is this like Japan going into ASEAN with poor carbon sales, and trying to like say it'd be a real shame if some of that carbon you were emitting went unmonitored, huh? Wink. This like sounds like a gangster tactic, and I'm not sure that's what it is, but are they kind of saying, wow, our sales suck. How can we get them to be better? Well, maybe we can get more commitments from our ASEAN neighbors. Trading on the Tokyo Stock Exchange's carbon credit market is slowly picking up nearly a year after its launch as more Japanese companies show interest in utilizing it to achieve emission reduction targets. I remember covering this type of thing like 20 years ago in school. It seemed like such a ridiculous idea at the time. The Tokyo Stock Exchange, managed by Japan Exchange Group, started carbon trading in October 2023 as part of efforts to put a price tag on emissions. That's what Justin Trudeau says. We're putting a price tag on pollution for the carbon tax, which is an air tax. This is a global air tax being put in place. That's what decarbonization means. Air tax. Into a transparent and market-driven manner. The move came ahead of an expected increase in demand for trading in 2026 when the government plans to launch an emission trading system sometime during the fiscal year that begins in April of that year. And it goes on from there. So I'm wondering, are they moving towards this seriously? Are some countries moving towards calculating, reporting emissions for carbon market trading? Or is this false interest on behalf of a lot of these ASEAN countries? Because there's Myanmar, there's Cambodia, there's Vietnam, Malaysia. Malaysia likes to play both sides, and maybe they can in some regards or not. But this just feels a little odd, and I don't know why it's happening. And nobody I talk to really wants decarbonization. It just feels like something that's been imposed on all of us, and we don't get to vote about it. Yet the people that we vote for go and then make it one of their main things to do. So screw them. That's what I say. Screw them. All right, let's take a look now at some military, actually.
Here we go.
All right, we're recording this on October 10th, 2024. Post-COVID, the before times, they were what they were. They're gone now. This is a new submarine report. The Marine Self-Defense Force's newest Taigei-class submarine, Choge, is named and launched after the former Imperial Japanese Navy submarine tender, Choge. The naming and launching ceremony for the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force's latest submarine was held at Mitsubishi Heavy Industries Kobe Shipyard on October 4th. According to the public relations officer of the Maritime Staff Office, the name's Choge is written as kanji, meaning a giant whale. It is the third Japanese vessel to bear this name. The Taigei class is the latest in a series of submarines named Gei, which means whale, following previous JMSD Gei submarine. The names Shio and Ryo, dragon. Officials say that they will not be recruiting for the Gei submarine, but that they will opt for grooming instead. They will ask people of various ages, do you want to sail or go down on the Gei submarine? ? That'll get me some brownie points with the community. Well, I'm not the one calling the submarine Gei. And there's other words for whale. You can say whale is... not Iruka, that's dolphin, as something else. I know what it is. Kujira, that's what it is. This is the fifth state-of-the-art Taigei-class submarine, and it will replace Japan's other flagship submarines. It doesn't really say what it can do. There we go. It's the world's only submarine equipped with lithium-ion batteries. Now, I had to scroll halfway down the article because this is from Japanese Yahoo News. Japan's news agencies like to repeat the same sentence over and over and over and over and over again, and they like to put the most interesting information in the middle towards the bottom. That's just how people like to read the news. For the MSDF, which requires high secrecy and does not possess more advanced nuclear submarines, going beyond conventionally powered submarines has always been a major channel. So, for example, diesel are noisy and they rattle. But the new ion batteries, the lithium ion, are super quiet. So this is a major advantage. And as Max von Schuler Kobayashi, who's been on the podcast and has books and who's a military analyst, says, these can probably outperform and outdetect a lot of Chinese capabilities at the moment. So in terms of protecting China's southern islands in case of Taiwanese incursions on behalf of the Chinese, these submarines might be able to do a fantastic job of disrupting any operations because this lithium-ion technology is so quiet, and that is an advantage when you are basically a stealth machine. People don't like to know where the submarines are. That's why you have them. All right. So anyways, I'll be posting a new picture of this submarine on this Gei submarine. It's a very phallic and gay on MatthewPMBigelow.com. Go there for all your Gei submarine needs, MatthewPMBigelow.com, and make a donation at PayPal.me/JapanWUT. Include the word gay for 20% off. All right, let's take a look at I think that's it. We're going to go to Society 5.0. Let's go.
The fourth industrial revolution will enable us to create a new society. Artificial intelligence will transform the big data collected through the Internet of Things into new wisdom. Society 5.0, a technology-based, human-centered society. The fourth industrial revolution will raise our standard of living and solve various challenges we face. It will, for example, free us from the stress of driving, allowing us to safely visit anyone, anytime. We will have access to the latest medical advancements at a low cost, no matter where we are. AI and robots will enhance human ability and expand our infinite possibilities, helping us enjoy more fulfilling lives. Society 5.0. for the betterment of human lives.
Just to be clear about that submarine topic, I don't mind if there's gay submarines. I don't mind if there's women on the submarines. I'm not going to be on them. So I just want to make that clear. I am not anti-gay submarines. I am pro-gay submarines. These gay submarines are great. Let's take a look at this new technology. So Japan Society 5.0 is a government initiative, and it's aiming at sort of pushing us all off of our devices and into integrated society where all the functionality of our phones is done through cameras that monitor us in the street lamps with facial recognition capabilities, and we interact with society wirelessly with all of the technological applications of our phones and computers embedded into the society around us. It's more or less how it works. Sounds crazy, but that's what they want. That's the Japanese government's official stance. And whether it gets there or not is one thing or another. And I worked in the telecommunications industry at SoftBank from 2015 to 2020, running an English course that focused a lot on IoT, AI, and it was market driven. And so just to clarify here, as I do every week, because people tune in and tune out and then they tune back in again, there's two sides of the AI crazy coin that I don't really like to cover unless it's towards that criticism or bringing it to light. Side one, AI is going to become our friends, then take our jobs and screw our wives and then kill us. I don't believe that. And that's a philosophical, rampant idea. And it's in my mind, catastrophic. It's catastrophism, catastrophist, and it's defeatist. It just kind of, you dismiss it and then say, and it's all over. So, okay, fine. Take that position. Then the other one that I don't like to focus on so much is the idea of AI applications on our devices that just make us tap and tap and tap. And I don't mean like Chat GPT apps on our phones. Those can be very useful, actually, or translation apps. Although a lot of translation apps are really annoying. Like you go into shops with a translation app and then you look at the prices and then like, you enter that price into Amazon in the shop, and then you can really get it cheaper on Amazon. So you leave the shop and you buy it on Amazon. Like that's such a destructive idea to send people with this technology into shops, and then they just leave and buy it online and wait for it at home. Like that's a dick move on behalf of big tech, to be honest. It's a way of destroying mom and pop shops, like inch by inch, slice by slice. But that's not really what I mean. I just mean like the applications on your device where you write 2 + 2 and then equals with your finger, and then the computer goes, oh, that's 4. I don't really focus on that so much. I focus on infrastructure, markets, investments, and the types of things like facial recognition, self-driving cars, AI cameras, surveillance, that type of stuff. That's going to affect us all. It's going to affect me and my family, and it's going to affect you and yours as well. So I take it seriously, and I look at it from such a reference, which is the reference I developed by working in the technology industry with AI engineers and VPs of a major corporation who take this stuff very seriously as well. So, and it doesn't always stick, but when it sticks, it sticks. That's more or less the summary. Hold on a second. And I use Amazon delivery a lot, by the way, and we're going to go there first for today. Amazon, this comes to us from japantoday.com, or it's also .co.jp, I believe. From what day? It's from today, so October 10th. But it's from America, but it's Amazon, so it's everywhere. Amazon says new technology in delivery vans will help sort packages on the fly and save time. I think there's a lot of issues with the amount of packages going out with deliveries and the amount of incompetence of drivers who simply stop caring about the packages that they're delivering. Typically in Japan, it's been very, very trustworthy. But in the past couple of years, post-COVID, I think a lot of people haven't been able to pursue their dreams, so they end up driving these tiny cars stacked with packages up and down the streets. And I've seen, most of the time it's been very good and very professional. Most of them are. But I have seen an uptick of people kind of dropping boxes or throwing boxes kind of into a bin, not placing them, for example. And in the past, I may have been scammed once or twice in the past year as well by a delivery driver. you kind of say, leave it in my mailbox, and then they're getting late with their deliveries. So they just say they left it in your mailbox, but they didn't, and they don't have to prove it. It's like a loophole. And I think that's happened. And Amazon remedied it very quickly, and it's fine. But I just noticed that probably Amazon has to get more on the ball with their issues that this is injecting into our society. Amazon has revealed new technology that it says will help delivery drivers avoid organizing packages at stops or manually check to see if they have the right parcel for each delivery. The technology, called Vision-Assisted Package Retrieval, or VAPOR, is intended to cut down on the time and effort it takes drivers to retrieve packages, Amazon's retail chief Doug Harrington said at a company event in Nashville on Wednesday. Amazon expects to put 1,000 delivery vans that contain the technology on the road by early next year. The company says VAPOR essentially works like this. Once an Amazon delivery van arrives at a customer's location, it will project a green 0 on packages, or green O on packages that need to be dropped off, and a red X on those that should remain in the van. The technology will also use audio and visual cues to let drivers know they have found the right package, Amazon said. Not that one, you idiot. What, you can't read, dum-dum? Oh, good job. Good boy, good little girl, you found it. Now briskly go up to the house and drop it off like a good Amazon worker. The Seattle company has been testing the new feature with its delivery service partners, the business that delivers packages across the country for Amazon. Oh, DSP, that's the name of the company, Delivery Service Partners. It said early tests have showed the technology helped reduce perceived physical and mental effort for drivers and saved them more than 30 minutes per route. That's a major time saver, especially when you factor in 30 minutes per route for 1,000 vans per day. Massive time saver. That's why I read it to the end there. I don't usually read it to the end. But, even routing around a van and everything like that. So I'm assuming that they have, it's similar probably to the Amazon Go, that shop that they had that was unmanned, and you could just go in and with your Amazon account, pick something off the shelf, leave the shop, and the sensor would notify once you left the shop that you had purchased that product, and it would charge it to your Amazon account. I'm assuming it's something similar to that, where the cameras, like an array of cameras or sensors and various types of readers, probably a lot of QR code as well, is scanned simultaneously in the van, and then light projects onto packages using AI camera readers that identify the shape and distance of the boxes from each other. And then once the information on one box is correlated to the delivery at hand, it identifies that as the one to be delivered. Really advanced technology. I wonder if that would give you cancer driving around with that much stuff behind it, though. Like suddenly you start bleeding from your neck. You're like, oh, I have to go to the doctor. No way could this be from the wireless signals coming from behind me and this experimental equipment that's never been used before. That would be called a conspiracy theory. Thank you. I don't know if that would happen. Next one, back to Japan. Honda autonomous system to allow car drivers to take eyes off road. It's happening in Japan. Honda Motor Co. When's this from? Today, October 10th, 2024. MatthewPMBigelow.com. Honda Motor Co. said Wednesday it aims to become the world's first automaker to offer an autonomous driving system that allows drivers to take their eyes off the road in most situations, with a plan to install it in its new electric vehicle series to be launched globally. Surveillance, EV and surveillance, decarbonization and surveillance, Amazon delivery and surveillance. Notice how it's like the only way this AI stuff makes a lot of money and it's when it's surveilling you. Surveillance capitalism. Some people will hear that and go, you communist. I just think that the only way to make billions of dollars is on this technology is when you stack it in a way to surveil. That's it. That's how you make your money. The eyes-off technology, equivalent to level 3 in the industry's 5-point scale of autonomous driving capabilities, will enable drivers to watch movies and read books, among other activities. Wink, wink. On the submarine, the Japanese car maker said. The new function will become available for expressway driving starting in the late 2020s, with plans to expand it to various other road situations later, Honda said. The system will be installed in the Honda Zero EV. Is that a zero or a no? In the automaker's plans to launch in 2026. The technology will utilize AI to study behavioral patterns of experienced drivers, the car maker said. Honda launched the revamped Legend sedan in 2021, the world's first Level 3 autonomous driving vehicle that allows drivers to engage in activities other than driving, but the scope of its use was restricted to when driving in heavy traffic on the expressway. So it kind of goes on from there. So Honda is ramping it up. And the Japanese government a few months ago decided to take the lid off of mass restrictions on implementing self-driving technology into vehicles. And they want to aim for level 4 next year, which means that maybe you don't even need to have a driver. I'm not sure. I can't remember what it means, but there's 0 through 5 for the levels. Kawasaki rolls out first hydrogen engine motorcycle. A lot of people were saying that the EV will be the next big thing. Toyota said, no, we're going to go hybrid, and we're focusing on hydrogen. And hydrogen seems to be a growing field, and it seems to have the ability to be stored and produced and provide like a supply chain infrastructure a lot more reliably than lithium-ion batteries at scale. Perhaps that's what people are thinking. I'm not an automotive expert. Kawasaki rolls out world first hydrogen engine motorcycle. The Japanese motorcycle manufacturer showcased the world's first hydrogen-powered motorcycle at an event during the Suzuka 8 Hours Road Race held in Mie Prefecture on July 20th. When is this from? It's from today, right? October 20th. Okay, so anyways. The Ninja H2SX, which is equipped with a fuel tank loaded with hydrogen mounted behind the seat, turned heads at the racetrack. The hydrogen engine burns fuel 9 times faster than gasoline-powered engines. Because hydrogen burns with a small amount of air, hydrogen engines offer a smoother response during acceleration. Currently, vehicular electrification of automobiles is being done for motorcycles. Motorcycles powered by electric motors have already appeared on the market, but there still are motorbike enthusiasts who love the revving sound and ride vibrations associated with gasoline engines. The silent electric motorcycles do not offer the same riding experience. On the other hand, hydrogen engines, which have the same mechanism as gasoline engines, provide a similar ride but without leaving an ecological footprint. Decarbonization. Yeah, less tax or more tax. Kawasaki Motors aims for completing electrifications of its major models by 2035, blah, blah, blah. Because hydrogen tends to ignite much more easily than gasolines, there is a risk of an unexpected abnormal combustion inside the engine. Another issue is how to mount the larger fuel tank compared to a gasoline tank on the vehicle. To mount the hydrogen fuel tank, the specially made model cars, motorbikes can have no luggage rack on the rear. Oh, so we're kind of seeing some major setbacks. Just so you have hydrogen, just so you don't, one tank on one motorcycle doesn't emit the horrible, horrible CO2 that needs to be stopped because the government said decarbonization and all the hippies just became tech bros. Relevant laws need to be amended for hydrogen fuel. Anyways, it goes on from there. It's a very long article, but it says hydrogen engines are spreading indeed. All right, next one. Toyota boosts its investment in air taxi company Joby Aviation by another $500 million. We've seen a lot of eVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing type drones with, they're big drones that hold like 4 to 6 people. And this idea is to provide short hops across cities that normally suffer from a lot of congestion, or even in places like Tokyo, where when I was working at SoftBank, the headquarters was a giant building, and it often took 10 to 15 minutes just to get out of the building due to elevator congestion. And then you have to walk 5-10 minutes to the subway station and then take a subway across town. And then the same thing repeats once you get off the other end, just so you can go to a meeting. And it might be an important meeting and it might not be an important meeting, but you basically have to spend 10 people, an hour both ways to go to an hour-long meeting, and maybe you get a lot of money out of it in the end because of the way business works, but it's still a lot of labor that's being lost. But if you had one drone eVTOL on the top of your headquarters, and there's a company across town that offers the same thing, you could just zip there for 20 minutes and you don't have the issue of being discombobulated from all of the jostling and shimmying across town on the networks, on the train network. So this idea was taking off. Oh my goodness, I said it by accident, but it hasn't really taken off. Toyota is investing another $500 million in Joby Aviation as part of a partnership aimed at helping get the American air taxi company's commercial business off the ground. Toyota's investment will be used to support certification and production of Joby's electric air taxis. After the investment, which will come in 2 equal tranches later this year, and next, Toyota will own about 22% of Joby's outstanding shares. Toyota's investment builds on nearly 7 years of collaboration between our companies. 7 years, said the CEO of Joby. In addition to the cash investment, Toyota has been spending time and human resources to share its design and manufacturing methods. The Japanese automaker said its engineers are working with Joby's team at its California headquarters. Last year, the company signed a long-term agreement for Toyota to supply key powertrain and other components for the production of Joby's aircraft. That's smart, Toyota, because if this industry does take off and you have a lot of technical know-how, you might be able to provide powertrains to all sorts of companies or offer solutions to all sorts of companies or develop a platform while you're helping Joby and then provide that platform to all sorts of companies outside of that aviation industry. So we'll see if this stuff takes off. We'll see if it gets off the ground. We'll see if it nosedives and crashes. We'll see if it propels us into the future. Got to put puns in there if you're working in the news. Onward. Before we plummet. Cyberlink's AI facial recognition engine, FaceMe, is adopted by Miyagawa Manufacturing Co. For its new facial recognition device, Konoktoi Lite, in Taiwan. Cyberlink Corp., a pioneer in AI and facial recognition technology, today announced that its partner, Miyagawa Manufacturing, has equipped its AI facial recognition engine, FaceMe, in its new facial recognition device, Konoktoi Lite. That's what the headline said. Thank you for repeating it. Konoktoi Lite is a new model. I'll be posting this on MatthewPMBigelow.com. This goes back to the idea that a lot of this new technology, it doesn't look like it's new technology. It's embedded into existing infrastructure, and it connects up into data centers that update software wirelessly into our future technologies. So this new wave of technology is very different from previous waves. The nuclear bomb, you notice that. Airplanes flying through the sky, you notice that. iPods, you notice that. People sitting around scrolling on Twitter all day, you notice that. Facial recognition cameras embedded into the lights of your office. You don't even know they're there. Audio that parses for keywords installed in lamps throughout the city. You don't even notice it. So I'll be posting these at MatthewPMBigelow.com. Konoktoi Lite is the new model in the Konoktoi series of face recognition devices made in Japan, designed, developed, and manufactured by Miyagawa Seisakusho for safety and security. By adopting Cyberlink's AI face recognition engine, FaceMe, the device achieves both high performance and a smart design by being significantly smaller and lighter while maintaining the same high recognition performance as the conventional standard. All right, so it's like a device and it has facial recognition, but what can it do? By using Konoktoi Lite as a face terminal on FaceMe security, you can control the door, or you can control doors. Sorry, I researched this in Japanese and used AI translation to get it into English, which nobody else does. So nobody else has this. But the translation is not always perfect. So you can control the door, meaning in Japanese, they don't really have countable and uncountable nouns as much as English does. And they often omit pronouns. Thank God. So the AI translation kind of fills those gaps. But anyways, the doors can be controlled only using the facial recognition terminal, even in an emergency or other situation when the network for the authentication device and manager server is cut off. FaceMe Security is operated on a cloud-based basis, making it possible to centrally manage Connector Lite devices installed at multiple locations online. And by using the infrared camera at Connector Lite, we can realize an entrance-exit management function with door control that utilizes an anti-spoofing function for high security level areas. That means you can't just walk up with a piece of paper with someone's face on it because it has heat. We can register heat patterns and things like that. Anyways, it goes on from there. So I would like to have this solution if I was working at a factory or a place with a lot of employees with a high rate of turnover that has a lot of valuable stuff inside. I would definitely use this. Next, start of operation of autonomous electric buses in Tomigusuku City, Okinawa Prefecture by NEC Corporation. So a whole bunch of companies have begun operating an autonomous electric bus in the Okinawa city from today. The autonomous electric bus will operate until November 1st, 2024 on Friday on approximately half of the Tomigusuku City Loop Line, a daily route in Tomigusuku City. In addition, a departure ceremony and ribbon-cutting ceremony for the autonomous EV bus was held at Aeon Mall. Okay. Yeah, Aeon is another company that's going in big on robotics and AI, so maybe there's a connection there. And it kind of goes on from there, but it shows like a dashboard for the bus that probably monitored by somebody at a remote location, ideally in a data center, but probably from their living room. And it has like the weather, and it has weather conditions and street conditions and where the bus is between stations. And this bus is seems to be equipped with 8 different cameras, internally and externally. And it's for remote monitoring. And it's been developed by NEC. And there we go. I'm not going to go too much into it. It's more of like a press release anyways. So autonomous buses are expanding in Japan, and they're being used in Okinawa now. Next one, from NHK, seeking participants for demonstration experiment of self-driving bus in the Oirase Gorge. The prefecture and other organizations, which prefecture, are looking for participants for a 7-day demonstration experiment of an autonomous bus on the national highway along Oirase Gorge in Towada City later this month. The demonstration experiment will be conducted by Towada City and others on the approximately 8-kilometer section of National Route 102 that runs along the Oirase Gorge from Ishigedo to Nenokuchi, and will be the first autonomous driving test in the prefecture. The experiment will be conducted for 7 days, and the driving route will be divided into 3 sections, and the experiment will be conducted on level 2 autonomous driving, in which the computer will assist with the accelerator, brakes, and some steering operation while the driver is in the vehicle. I'm not going to go too much into it, but this is very typical for buses, autonomous buses in Japan now, where they are used for short stops, generally between like a train station and then a hospital, or along a route of highway to connect seniors to a residential area to a commercial area where they need to get their senior stuff done. These buses run generally very slowly. I've seen them go up to 60 kilometers an hour, but generally speaking, it's between 10 to 20 kilometers an hour, and they follow a set route, and it seems to be spreading and seems to be approved by the government. So people are trying to tap into that. The next one. This one, I'm not going to go too much into it either, but the leader of SoftBank, the CEO, the founder, Masayoshi Son, he also wants to get into car manufacturing, it seems, according to this report from Xtech at Nikkei.com. I wonder if Masayoshi Son is trying to start an automobile manufacturer in Japan. Because Masayoshi Son, I remember he partnered SoftBank up with Toyota for a subsidiary company, joint venture called Monet, Mobility Network. And I'm not sure if Toyota was eventually swayed by SoftBank to go long term with it to the degree that Masayoshi Son wants. So is Masayoshi Son trying to go even further with his visions of the future? Masayoshi Son is a what's that thing when the compute meets the human brain? A singularity. He believes in the singularity. He's a singularitarian. And he always says things like, well, robots will be our friends. And he has big visions for the future, artificial generative intelligence. And he's big on this bandwagon. So it was interesting working there for such a CEO, actually. A lot of funky people turn up around that type of thing, and they're interesting to work with. This is how, Tsunago Nobe, a visiting professor at Nagoya University who is knowledgeable about autonomous driving technology, analyzes a series of patent applications from October 2022 onward that list Masayoshi Son, chairman and CEO of SoftBank Group, as the inventor. An analysis of the patent applications has revealed the next generation car that Son envisions. A series of patent applications naming Son as an inventor have been published since April 2024. According to a survey using patent analysis tools from Patentfield, one area that stands out is autonomous driving. Many of the applications are original, such as the technology that allows the left and right wheels to turn in a V shape to stop the vehicle, and distributed processing across multiple vehicles using AI. I think the idea is a reflection of Mr. Son's awareness of the problems facing the automotive industry. Rather than just looking at the technology of the car itself, we can see his perspective of optimizing the role of cars in society as a whole, said Kazuki Kondo, a group leader of Patentfield Sales Group. And they envision level 6, which is even better than level 5. And it goes on from there. I'm not going to go too much into it, but we can see that this idea of autonomous driving in Japan is spreading in various ways and in various fields. There's another one. Demonstration testing begins for self-driving buses. Level 4 technology improves the ride of comfort, published on October 7th, 2024 in Saga City. It's the same thing as the other ones. Moving on. Mitsubishi Electric uses AI to audit emails, chats, and other text to detect information leaks and fraud risks. Surveillance. It's all about surveillance. Tracking and analyzing and surveilling. That's how you make money on it. Just to wrap up that autonomous bus section, it's spreading. It's spreading in various ways. All these buses look kind of the same. You can see pictures of them at MatthewPMBigelow.com, where you can make a donation via PayPal at paypal.me/JapanWUT. But a lot of people still say AI is so stupid. AI is dumb. It's better if humans do it. Okay, but it's spreading and it's entering your communities as we speak. It's layering down and it's layering up. And one day you're going to be walking around and you're going to get on the bus and it's going to start driving itself. And you're going to be like, this isn't happening. Okay. Anyways, so let's take a look at this one. I'm kind of looking at other facets of how AI is spreading, and analyzing or detecting fraud is one of them. As the risks surround, where does this come from? This comes to us from it.impress.co.jp, published on October 4th, 2024. As the risks surrounding companies become more and more diverse and complex, Mitsubishi Electric is continually working to strengthen its information security. It has established the Economic Security Management Office in 2020, the Risk Management Office in 2022, in the Legal and Risk Management Department in 2024 to build an information governance system for the group. That's big news. In August 2023, Mitsubishi Electric introduced Kibit Seizu Analysis, an AI-based economic security service provided by Frontio. As a new initiative, Mitsubishi Electric has introduced Kibit Eye, a text analysis and auditing tool using Frontio's specialized AI Kibit to monitor emails sent and received by confidential information departments and detect communications that may lead to the removal or leakage of information. Kibit Eye uses AI to analyze emails, chats, and voice data converted to text, extracted, and that would be minutes from meetings, extracting and scoring risks. You can detect subtle differences in human intent that cannot be distinguished by keyword searches alone. That's bullshit. By using AI to make judgments, it is possible to eliminate personal bias in the judgment criteria and perform a uniform and comprehensive audit. That's possible because you don't have the person in charge going, well, Saito-san would never do that. He's a good guy. Meanwhile, Saito-san's like, I have a family to feed. I'm going to do this. In addition, by scoring data, it is possible to prioritize extraction of data with a high risk of leaking confidential information. That's been going on for a while with various platforms as well. Yeah. So instead of looking at it one by one and deciding and then putting it in order of importance, it scans it all automatically, prioritizes it based on keywords and risk, and then puts that at the top for security officers to review. So instead of finding the most important thing on the bottom of like a forms that you have to review, it's like it gets automatically sent to the top. Interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's going to be internally. That's another thing. You're writing an email at Mitsubishi Corporation, and you don't know that it's scanning your email for fraud in real time or whatever, or after you send the button. But it is, and you don't know it. It's not some person staring over your shoulder at work like a manager going, hey, I thought you were supposed to have that project done by now. It just knows what you're doing all the time. Surveillance. That's the key focus here. Surveillance. Very dystopian in a way. I have a few more to go. I'm not going to go too much into this, but this is about Korea. Koreans ranked highest among 10 countries for anxiety that AI is threatening their jobs. From japan.hani.co.cr. 58% believe that monitoring and regulation are necessary, second highest after Italy. So they're worried that they're going to lose their jobs to it. So I guess that means that's why it needs to be regulated. Very long article. If you're interested, I'll be posting it at MatthewPMBigelow.com. Airship AI wins $12 million surveillance contract. JPinvesting.com. From Washington. Ooh, I got a lot of pop-ups coming here. Jeez. Enough with the pop-ups. Okay. A company, Airship AI Holdings, Inc., a company specializing in AI-driven surveillance solutions, has been awarded a $12 million contract for support and maintenance of the Acropolis Enterprise Video and Data Management Platform, which is currently used by Fortune 100 transportation and e-commerce companies to support their global operational and physical security infrastructure. So you have AI solutions being introduced into AI solutions. The contract, which spans the next 9 months, highlights the role the platform will play in managing the client's global logistics operations through a unified security operations center. This contract underscores the importance of our platform to our customers, empowering the deployment of the Acropolis ecosystem. The system enables the management of devices and sensors across various on-premise or cloud-based digital ecosystems, leveraging artificial intelligence to optimize operational efficiency and real-time decision-making. The company also offers Outpost AI, an edge-based AI platform that can augment existing edge sensors without expensive replacement. That would be like software updates, wouldn't it? The company boasts a customer retention rate in the high 90s of percentages, I guess that would be a percentile, and attributes its success to comprehensive support, including new software releases, patches, and updates. The CEO adds, once the platform is up and running in a customer's environment, we focus on supporting their workflows to make their operations more effective and efficient. And that goes on from there. And that sounds like AWS business strategy as well, which works very well. You release it, send it out, and then ask the people that are using it, what else can we do? If 10 out of 20 people say this, you kind of pursue it. If 19 out of 20 people say ABC, then you definitely pursue it. All right, moving on. Odakyu. This is Japan. Odakyu is a rail company. Odakyu to test AI cameras to check safety on platforms amid manpower shortage. So again, it's surveillance, and you don't know it's there. That's the theme. That's the theme across all of these technologies. That's why I put them all together in this exhaustive list. The themes that bubble up to the top is surveillance, and you don't know it's there. If there's a guy on the platform staring at you because you're fumbling around with something in your bag, you're like, oh, he's checking things. But if there's no guy there, you just might, if you've like been knife shopping, you might be like, oh, no one's on this platform. I'll just look at my new designer knives. Then you start waving your knife around, being like, yo, I'm a ninja chef. And then suddenly the police are there. And they're like, yeah, you're waving we got AI cameras all around you. You're not a ninja chef. You're a terrorist, aren't you? And you're like, if I was being watched by a human, I wouldn't have done such a thing. But I am a ninja chef. That's my pronoun. Ninja chef. Odakyu Electric Railway will conduct a demonstration experiment from October 10th to January 9th, 2025, using behavioral recognition AI technology on cameras and stations to quickly detect suspicious people and objects. The experiment will be held at Kakio Station and Tamagawa Gakuenmai Station on the Odakyu line. The demonstration experiment will use AI security Asila, an AI security system developed by Asila in Machida, Tokyo. So that's why it's being used there. The images from 20 cameras that have been installed in the concourses and platforms of the two largest stations will be analyzed using behavioral recognition AI. This will improve the efficiency of safety checks, which are currently done by manpower and the various associated response tasks. Well, there we go. What are some of the things that it can detect? It can detect people shouting. It can detect people lying around. It can detect people entering areas they shouldn't be. It can detect people doing sports when they shouldn't be. It can detect slipping. It can detect drunkenness. It can detect elevator problems or escalator problems. And a variety of other things, and also help with the elderly or the disabled. There you go. You're not going to know what's there. You'll be wandering around drunk, and suddenly a guy will show up with a cup of coffee. Be like, take it easy for a while. You're drunk. Next, Tokyu Store, Itochu Foods, and others use AI cameras in retail advertising. On the 7th of October, Tokyu Store announced that it will collaborate with two companies, Glory and Itochu Shokuhin, which handle facial recognition services. In the field of retail advertising, the three companies have started a digital advertising service using in-store digital signage. This comes to us from Nikkei.com. Translated. Tokyu Store will utilize data on the purchasing behavior of customers and use it to create efficient sales floors. Tokyu Store's Nakameguro main store and Chuo-Rinkan store have begun a service aimed at advertisers that analyzes the purchasing behavior of customers who have viewed digital advertisements. I guess this would be like, it monitors like, that'd be interesting. Probably, this is my guess. There's a digital advertisement and people walk past it and everybody gets assigned a code. And then once you walk past the food that it's advertising, if you walk past the food, if you stop to pick it up, it will like give you a certain score. And if you go to the register and buy it, and then on your way, it might have like a camera there to confirm if you've purchased it or not. So you'd be able to surveil and track and monitor what type of people are even attracted to your goods. So maybe you design something that's for like men in their 20s, but you also find out that women in their 80s are also using it or not. That would be my guess. I'm just going off the top of my dome there. By partnering with Itochu Foods, the company will provide digital advertising opportunities to more manufacturers. Yeah, so here we go. AI cameras will be installed near the digital signage at the store entrances and cash registers to monitor the behavior of customers. Glory's AI camera system will monitor the viewer ratings and demographics of customers viewing digital advertisements and analyze the impact on sales and customer numbers. I nailed it. I know how this stuff works. I know how this works. Next, for people who don't like rape, this is for you. And it's for me, because I hate rape. No voyeurism or molestation. AI cameras introduced on Fukuoka City subway. We won't let voyeurism or molestation go unnoticed. This is from news.yahoo.co.jp. New technology prevents perverts and false accusations. It's called Reiwa's Bread. The 4000 series, the first new train in 32 years, is a hot topic on social media. The airport line and Hakata station are used by 70,000 people per day. A camera staring at the ticket gate. At first glance, it looks like a simple surveillance camera, but it is a powerful ally in ensuring safety. AI analysis detects falls and violent people from the movement of people's joints and notifies staff. What's more, the cameras near the escalators also aim to prevent voyeurism and molestation. Good. Fukuoka City Subway is now focusing on preventing voyeurism crimes. At Kushidaijinja Mai Station, which has the longest escalator in Fukuoka City Subway, mirrors to prevent voyeurism have been placed on the wall since last month. Yeah, don't stare at the girls' skirts. Their panties are clean. Hakata Station's AI cameras sound an alarm when they detect unnatural lingering near the boarding and alighting gates looking for a target. And it goes on from there. It's the same technology that I've been talking about earlier. We're going to move on. I'm kind of going through this kind of rapidly. Sapporo Drugstore repurposes security cameras for marketing purposes using AI to analyze customer movements. I'll be posting images of this at MatthewPMBigelow.com as well. And again, you're not going to notice it, but it's going to notice you. It's the same thing as the digital signage, but it just has a different application. Next. Plast releases detachable AI camera system for forklifts. Plast, a developer of comprehensive logistics solutions, announced on the 1st a detachable AI camera system for forklifts. The system recognizes the surrounding situation in real time while the forklift is in operation and has the function of automating danger avoidance. AI detects pedestrians and obstacles and warns the operator with voice and visual alerts, greatly reducing the risk of accidents. In addition, the system is detachable, making it easy to attach to the forklift and move to other equipment. It is highly versatile and can be used with a wide range of models regardless of the type of size of the forklift. All the systems can be attached with magnets and power is supplied only by a magnetic battery. So companies can share the AI camera system with multiple forklifts as needed, achieving efficient operation. Installation can be completed in a few minutes, minimizing downtime. All right, so like I said, it's going to be embedded into existing infrastructure. In this case, it's not infrastructure, but vehicles, but we can call it infrastructure if you're thinking about what's needed to, operate a factory. And you're not going to notice it's there. And it's going to surveil. Notice how it's all the same. It's all the same. AI camera parking system Danu Park goes into operation at Sumitomo Realty and Development's office building. By changing from mechanical equipment to AI cameras, annual costs are reduced by 50%. The accuracy of vehicle number recognition is maintained at over 99%, reducing the manual work involved in managing parking facilities, leading to increased satisfaction for building operators and parking users. This is interesting. The parking lot use of a high-rise office building in Tokyo, operated by Sumitomo Realty and Development, has a variety of users, including monthly and hourly parking and for delivery vehicles, but it faced the following challenges. 1. Since a parking ticket is required when entering the parking lot, the entrance and exits of the parking lot tend to become congested. 2. Even those who use the parking lot every day are required to issue a ticket and pay each time, making parking difficult. 3. It is necessary to assign an administrator to perform facility maintenance and troubleshoot equipment problems, which incurs operational costs. Our newly introduced Denno Park uses AI cameras to recognize the license plate numbers of cars entering and exiting the parking lot, making it possible to instantly visualize parked vehicles. This allows for quick response in the event of a problem. In addition, it eliminates the need for equipment such as ticket issuing machines and payment machines that require the management of cash, improving the efficiency of facility management in terms of cost and operation. Parking lot users can pay parking fees online, and monthly and hourly users can register and avoid the need for management and procedures when entering and exiting the parking lot. The parking lot use has also become more efficient, dramatically increasing convenience and satisfaction for users. I'm going to be posting this to MatthewPMBigelow.com, but it's the same idea. I think because it would register your number plate, you would be able to go in and come out. Or if you have an account there, you would just be able to scan in and scan out and charge as you go. And maybe that could even be sent automatically to your company and they'll be able to reimburse you. AI-enabled camera features can recognize speeds up to 60 kilometers per hour. Vehicle number recognition accuracy remains above 99%. and linkage with existing gates is achieved. What an interesting idea. And then you don't because I'm not a driver, but I know finding a parking space and then stopping and going all the time and waiting in line. Imagine if that was just all sped up. Now you don't have to worry about that anymore. But it's not as though it's obvious, right? It's not an obvious technology. And now you just don't wait. And now you go in and you leave. But it's not as though you notice the technology. It's not like it's a giant screen directing you where to go. It's just there, and now you don't realize that you don't wait anymore. You don't have to stop and you don't have to fumble with coins. It's just there. Now you don't even know it's there, but it's there. And it's surveilling you. We're almost done here. Next, from prtimes.jp. JALPAC conducts demonstration equipment to measure the effectiveness of vehicle advertising with WeTruck, a vehicle signage system equipped with signage that enables visual analysis, effectiveness measurement, and behavior measurement through targeting using AI cameras. That is the headline. How dare you? Taking advantage of the features, I'm not going to read the previous paragraphs because it's just going to repeat, but there will be a picture of the truck on MatthewPMBigelow.com. Taking advantage of these features of an AI signage company, we will conduct the following demonstration experiments. The campaign will be announced using vehicle signage that will appeal across the entire area and draw the attention of the town. 2. Analysis of number of views, attributes. We use AI cameras to analyze the number of views, gender and age group, surveillance, to determine who was viewing the mobility AI signage displayed on the campaign announcement and use this information to measure effectiveness and for targeting. Web access analysis. We analyze whether people who came into contact with the vehicle signage accessed the campaign site after contacting them for a certain period of time and measure their behavior. Comment from JALPAC, the company. Outdoor transportation advertising is often considered to be a difficult medium to measure its effectiveness. In this demonstration experiment, we hope to measure the advertising effectiveness of this advertising medium that blends into everyday life and how it leads to subsequent actions after exposure to advertising, which will lead to future advertising and promotion. And it kind of goes on from there. But the fact that it's used in advertising as well. This has been going on for quite a while. Eye tracking as well on billboards in malls and some locations I've seen where if it's like a clothing shop and you have some poster of a model and the model has, various garbs on their body and bags and glasses. If you look at those and then you go in and buy one of those, it kind of tracks how your eyes were looking at the product display versus what you buy. Crazy, isn't it? Last one. First exhibit of security show Osaka 2024. Digitalization of security operations with security robots, surveillance cameras, and AI security systems. So we're stacking AI onto AI onto AI and connecting it via a platform to do what? Surveil you. And I saved this one for the last one because of its kind of all-encompassing nature based on the other technologies that we're looking at today. So in Osaka, coming up on the 17th of October, they have this digital transformation security exhibition. And at this, a company called Teisei Corporation is going to be exhibiting security show. And at this exhibition, they are going to exhibit, I'm just kind of get through the Japanese translation here because it's repeating and I'm trying to find the juice for you. And I found the juice. At this exhibition, this company will exhibit the security robot Ugo, the surveillance camera T-View, and the AI security system AI box Ascilla. Oh, it's coming back. Ascilla is back. Which are solutions to the serious labor shortage in the security industry. Yeah. About the security industry in Japan. It's good, but it's hard to find people to stand in one place outside of a building Previously, Japanese people were so diligent that you could just, some karate expert, just make him stand outside of a building until he's 80 years old and he would do it. But these days, it's not that easy. In addition to introducing each product individually, by linking the 3 products, it is possible to achieve a higher level of security. By automating some security work with AI, it will also reduce the burden on field staff and reduce manpower. On the exhibition day, you'll be able to see how Ugo, equipped with Asila, actually detects anomalies and predicts risks in real time, and how it detects people and greets them with greetings such as welcome while on guard duty and patrol. Please come to our booth and experience the latest technology. So the security cameras monitor what's going on, and when something happens, it sends the robot to go check on you, and the robot is monitoring you as well. So if you fall down and you need help, the robot can maybe call the police while filming you, or call an ambulance while filming you, or call some security staff while filming you, and having your video feed displayed on a security board somewhere, and then they can provide information to the ambulance that's coming or something like that. Not a bad idea. Or if you're trying to break in, the robot will be filming you, and now the police will maybe have access. If something criminal is happening, the police will be able to get the evidence before they even arrive as to what has been happening. Something like that. So it's surveillance on surveillance on surveillance. It's surveillance, it's AI surveillance enabling AI surveillance so that AI can surveil more of what we are doing in real life. What was that other Asila? I can't remember that. Asila was also mentioned in another article I was talking about today. And that's a part of this idea of platforms that are growing. Another one that is growing that's not connected to today is this other facial recognition platform called Free ID or Frido. And their platforms are being installed into various new condominiums as well for facial recognition access and locks and things like that. But they also want to have affiliated commercial facilities use your Frido ID so you can lock your face. You can use your face to lock your door. Then you can use your face to purchase goods, maybe at a discount at an affiliated commercial complex or something like that. So the idea is to take a platform and then customize it for various enterprise solutions aiming at this Japan Society 5.0. So that's going to be Japan Society 5.0 for today. That's a crazy list, isn't it? And it's interesting how it doesn't matter which application we're looking at today. It's like surveillance. You don't really know it's there until you reach a threshold and a robot will come and find you. Then you know it's there. Or until the police come and find you. Then you know it's there. Or until you commit fraud while writing emails. Then you know it's there because somebody comes to get you. And it's not as though this new technology is obvious, right? It's a hole in the wall. It's embedded into existing infrastructure. And nothing of today, it's all sourced. It's going to be all at MatthewPMBigelow.com. You can use your own AI translators to translate it if you want to follow up. But none of it is focusing on stupid consumer products. And none of it is focusing on robots that are eventually going to kill us. Maybe some of these will. Maybe some of them will. But not all of our. Overall, it's infrastructure. It's infrastructure, and it's slowly being embedded into the buses, into the emails, into the forklifts, into what else did we take a look at? Anything else? Into the Amazon cars, onto your packages, and it's just kind of drip, 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 kind of. It's sifting into our society, and we don't notice it until you do. But then by then it's too late. By then you can't be like, well, I actually object to this, and I think it's not good that it's here. Too late. Everyone spent all their time wondering about the jobs that are going to kill us and the stupid consumer products that keep us tapping on our phones as a distractionary measure against all this stuff that we didn't realize it's here. It's here. It's all around us. It's going to affect my family, my kids, your family, your kids. It's not necessarily a dystopia because it has a clear beginning and a clear ending of where it ends. But how is it going to seep? Is one thing going to eventually roll over into another, and then we don't have clear beginnings on one thing end and another thing begins? And that's my worry, and that's where we need to keep it. The separation of AI powers so that we don't live in an AI future dystopia.
The fourth industrial revolution will enable us to create a new society. Artificial intelligence will transform the big data collected through the Internet of Things into new wisdom. Society 5.0, a technology-based, human-centered society.
Decarbonize me now!
The fourth industrial revolution will raise our standard of living and solve various challenges we face.
No way.
It will, for example, free us from the stress of driving, allowing us to safely visit anyone, anytime.
Whoa.
We will have access to the...
All right. That's going to be it for the Japan What podcast for today. Thank you for listening. I'm going to leave you, though. Don't go anywhere yet, because I have a AI song that summarizes today's podcast. It's by suno.com. I take all the headlines and I put it into Grok from Twitter, X. I ask X to turn it into lyrics. Then I filter it through ChatGPT. Then I enter it into an AI song maker and I ask for some various styles and I omit some various styles. And then it produces a song that summarizes today's podcast. So I'm going to leave that with you here today. Make sure to go to MatthewPMBigelow.com to get all of the pictures, review the notes, and maybe even make a little old donation there at paypal.me/JapanWUT. All right, till next time, everyone, a big, fat, happy ja mata.
This week on the Japan What podcast. In the depths where the old warships lie, the Tiger class, a new dawn sails by. Showcase name echoes through time's vast hall. A submarine tender, now a symbol of all. In Society 5.0, we'll weave in a new thread. Autonomous dreams where technology's led. Amazon's transporting life on the fly. Honda's cars, satellites, watch you from the sky. Kawasaki's bike with hydrogen's might. Toyota's air taxis taking flight. Cyberlinks face me. In the crowd it'll find autonomous buses on the Japan What podcast. Kawasaki's bike with hydrogen's might. Toyota's air taxis taking flight. Cyberlinks face me. In the crowd it'll find autonomous buses on the Japan What podcast. Masayoshi's son dreams of cars that drive. AI on its watch in the digital hive. Koreans needlessly fear their jobs at stake. Airship AI for your own surveillance's sake. Japan and Asia, in green we trust. Car carbon trading starts on the Japan What podcast. AI cameras watch for safety, safe tool. From subway platforms to malls, they're installing new walls. In Society 5.0, where data flows free, we're watched and guided by AI we see. Parking lots now with cameras in place, reducing costs with a digital grace. Security shows where robots patrol, our future shaped in this digital soul. From vans to skies, from sea to land, on the Japan What podcast, where we take a stand.
You